Welcome back, everybody, to Empyrion Galactic Survival Alpha 10.2. I'm an old guy gaming, and I've been working on taking down this structure. We do have a core set down, so I've basically looted all the blocks and all the equipment whole, and I also did some organization here on the ship. I'll show you what we did here real quick. Here, let's look in the F4 menu. So basically on the chisel, we now have, I've labeled the containers. So the basic supply container is stuff that we need to keep with us all the time. So fuel and oxygen, backup weapons, that sort of thing. And I have a backup weapon of each type, tier 2, unless it's, one that doesn't have a tier 2 like the laser rifle. Then we also have the loot 1 and 2. And this is basically just stuff that we're looting. And my intention here is probably to take most of this stuff and just feed it directly into the factory. There might be a couple of things that we'll actually hang on to for later use. We did, like, for example, get an advanced constructor, which is pretty nice. And so I got 2 of those. This is all the stuff that we're going to take up to the Polaris to sell in the sell bin. And then everything else is just basically input output, of course, the stuff that we, use for the forge, or not the forge, the constructor. I already had that set up anyhow. And this doesn't actually go in there, by the way. And then, of course, the fridge is where we keep food and medical items. And so we got some of that stuff too. So let's put this in here. And then this is the stuff that I've already looted. We got 456 hardened steel blocks. So that'll all break down into, like, some sathium and steel, which will be nice. But like I said, I'm probably going to feed that stuff directly into the factory because we want to get started working here pretty soon on our Blacklight capital vessel here. But it's going to be really expensive to make. And so rather than just, doing a bunch of mining and putting raw ingots in, we can put some whole components in. The other advantage that has, unless not, it's changed since the last time I did it this way, is it'll also speed up the process because, some of the components that the ship needs are already made, and so it doesn't have to, go through and make them from raw ore. So anyway, that's what we're doing. Now, what I want to do is I do happen to have a multi-turret here for the Hovercraft. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put it on here, and we're just going to set it on top of the other turret. I guess it's going to let me do that. Because this is just... That's a drill turret, yeah. This is just temporary. Whoa. Let's at least put it on there straight. This is just something that, we're going to set down, use, and then pick right back up again. And let's try this on the building. I was doing it by hand with the multi-tool and the drone, and then it occurred to me that, hey, wait a minute, I've got a multi-turret that I had put in here for this purpose. So let's give this a try and see how well it does. So power up. And we want to get, let's just get kind of right in the middle here and back a little way so we have enough room to rotate. And then we're going to go into here, and we're going to go into... there's no point in grouping it because we're going to take it back off when we're done. So go down to the multi-turret, get inside of it, and start using this to take stuff apart. And this is going to be much faster than doing it by hand. Now, we are going to lose probably some blocks, but you know what? I don't care. It's not that big a deal. This is going to work so much faster than it is... doing it by hand. And if you guys didn't already know this, you can't use a capital vessel multi-turret on a planet. I might look into seeing if that's actually something we could disable later on, because it would be nice to be able to just, use it since it's already on the back of our capital vessel. I have a tool turret on the rear end of that thing. That way we don't have to mess with this. Plus, we'd be able to get above it and get a little bit better angle, but you're not supposed to do that normally in vanilla settings though, so I'll look into that. But in the meantime, we'll use the one here on the Hovercraft and be able to take this stuff apart and do it much faster than we can do it by hand. Okay, so I'm going to keep working on this, guys, and when I get this place completely razed to the ground, we'll take a look and see what the end product is from that, and then we will get started with sacking the listening station, which is the last active POI here on the moon. Once we do that, the moon belongs to us. Okay, so I'll be back here in just a little bit. Okay, guys, we are back, and pretty much have gotten just about everything. I couldn't quite reach these ones down in front here, so we can actually probably back up and hit those. So let's do that. And then the stuff that's around the core, we'll just hit with our hand tool. Well, actually, no, I guess we could come in here. I just didn't want to hit the core and, you know, break that down. Let's get down just a little bit lower, too. And then when we're finished here, we'll take a look and see what the total final count is. Can we hit that one? Yep. Okay, well, in that case, here, let's just grab the core and grab the last block. Beautiful. Okay, so what we're going to need to do before we head back in here is let's take this guy back off. That worked out pretty nicely. And we'll park the mining vessel back inside here. I want to make sure that all of the turrets are retracted, which they are. Okay. And we cut the power on here. Are we all the way in? Yeah, I guess we are. Let's make sure that he is completely filled up. What are we looking for? We're looking for supply. I got to get used to my new system here. So we'll use the small stuff for that. You know what? We might as well fill up the pentaxid too. So that's going to be in input-output. We should probably keep most of that, as a matter of fact, should probably be in here. Okay, so we'll top that off, and top that off. Now this guy should also have some extra supplies, and I just kind of keep everything in the ammo controller. So yeah, we're doing good, definitely for that. Let's put him in here too. He might as well stay with the, because I was actually storing this in the capital vessel. We'll keep this in the hovercraft. Okay, so now what we want to do is let's go to our F4 menu, and we're going to change this to the camo miner, and we're going to go to the loot 1 container. Now keep in mind that for the most part, these were the full blocks that we got. There are a couple things. Well, that stuff just came from the core. So let's put that back in the input-output. Okay. So loot 1. So we basically got a full stack and then about a stack and a half of hardened steel blocks. Excuse me, which will melt down into, of course, iron and sathium in the factory, except for that, because they're already whole blocks. Well, everything on the blacklight is combat steel, though, so I think those were probably, I'm not sure how the game would divvy that out. But anyway, we got about a stack and a half of hardened blocks out of there. What else did we get? Basically, everything else you see here. We got 65 shutter windows, which is good because that's more sathium there, too. And then we got the large constructor, which we already knew. The drill stuff, that came from the cargo bins. So probably the biggest thing, out of the whole deal was these sathium blocks. So that's going to be really cool. Now, let's go ahead and actually get the blacklight going to the factory. The thing that I have to consider here, though, is, once I start this, I don't know if I can cancel it. Well, let's just find out. Okay, so we've got the wood planks already that we need in there, but we're going to need everything else. So let's get back into here, the cargo loot, and I guess I'm going to have to put this in my own inventory. I want to put that oxygen back in there. And we're going to really just probably feed all of this stuff. Well, I need a railgun? I don't think so. Into the factory. I mean, we can make those later, but this is the one thing that I might hang on to because we are going to do another base on the Xerax. Yeah, screw it. You know what? We'll make it when we need it. Let's just put everything into the factory right now. We don't care about any of this stuff. Okay, we're out of room there. Okay, let's throw this in. So right now, we need 28,785 sathium and 18,000 iron. How much does this give us towards that? Okay, well, that gets us a percentage of the way there. Approximately 10% of the way there. A little more than 10%. So not bad, not bad. For about maybe 10 to 15 minutes worth of work, taking that down. If you compared that to the amount of mining and then ingots, and then the time to make the ingots after I mine the ore, this definitely does save us some time. And it knocked this down now to 10 hours instead of the 12 hours and whatever the hell it was. Okay, let's keep feeding this stuff in here. That doesn't really, that's not really making a dent in the time. Okay, that just brought it down another minute. What's this do? Can I just, yeah, I can just control click or shift click these in. So the whole thing that we're looking at here is just how much, you know, does it reduce the time. So I don't remember what the original was. I'll have to go back in the video and look at it, but it was 12 hours and some number of minutes. So we've reduced the time somewhere around, you know, 2 hours. And we still have all this stuff too. So let's throw all this in too and see how that does. We're just going to throw it all in there. And now we're down to 9 hours and 58 minutes. So we have reduced the time that it's going to take to build this by more than 2 hours. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably spend some more time. I'll do all of this off camera, of course. I won't, you know, show you guys. But I'm probably going to go ahead and raise the other POIs on this moon too, and, you know, do the same thing. And I bet you we can knock this thing down significantly from the original 12 hours that it would take us to do the ore. Plus, remember, we would also have to take all the time to mine the ore and make the ingots first before we could even feed into this. So this is saving us time, you know, in more ways than one. So a really good way to do this. And, you know, I have done this before in the past too, but most of the time I've just, you know, done the factory with ingots. But for something that's this big and this long of a build, it's worthwhile, I think, you know, to feed the stuff in home. Okay, guys. So anyway, just wanted to show you all that. What we're going to do now is we're going to head on over to the listing post and we're going to smash it. So I will meet you guys over there when we're ready to do that. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, guys, we're back. I am a complete and utter numbskull. I completely screwed up and thought that I had the recorder on, and I had actually turned it off when I went through and did the base here. So I apologize for that. I'm just old. I'm old guy, and sometimes I have old guy moments. But basically, this POI is the same POI that we did on the planet several episodes ago. And so, you know, everything went down more or less the same. We first took out the plasma cannons and the Jade Jet from up above, and then we blew the door. We came through here. We had a spawner here, a couple of guys. We had some robot mech guys come around here with another spawner. We took them out. I didn't, you know, everything was fine. I didn't die or anything like that. Then we came in here. There was one spawner that had the robot dudes. We took that out, and then the core was here. We placed a C4 on it and blew it. And then I went around and I hooked up a wireless device to the base. We pulled all the stuff out of the cargo bins, and then I went around and looted all the loot crates. And after that was all done, we also had a couple of drones fly in too, which was really weird because the drone base is cored. So I thought that was strange. But now what we've done is I added a temporary platform to the back of the chisel here. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually park the hovercraft on this platform and then use it, the multi-turret or multi-tool, to take this base apart. And so, anyway, I'm sorry, guys. I really apologize that you didn't actually see the combat. But, you know, on the plus side, like I said, it's the same exact POI that we did, excuse me, in an episode several episodes ago back on the planet. So, at least you've seen me do that specific PI, even though it wasn't the one on the moon. Sometimes shit happens. And that's all I have to say about it. Other than, again, sorry about that. Okay. Whoa, shit. So we got to get back up here. Let's try that again. We're gonna... Whoa! No. It went to... It started before I was ready for it. So what we need to do is up. Nope, not quite there. You are being a pain in the ass. Okay, if I jump up... There we go. Okay. The reason I parked the ship over here is because I have really low clearance getting out of here, and I needed kind of, you know, more of a dip to get the miner out of there. Okay, so let's head on down. Yeah, that is just really glitchy getting in and out of there. We're not going to have that problem, you know, once we have the black light spawned in. I mean, overall, this ship so far has served us really well for a starter capital ship, but you know, it does have some issues, and that, of course, is one of them. So let's get this right on the platform here, right about in the middle. We're going to turn it around so it's facing this direction. Right about there. And we'll just dock it here. And then what we need to do is we need to get the tool turret out of there. And we're going to mount it on top of here just like we did last time. Okay, I think I can't do that because the shields are on the ship. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually undock this. No, I don't. I hit the wrong button there. So let's get this undocked. Now I think we should be able to mount this. No, we still can't mount it. Okay, well, then what we have to do is we have to take this back off first. Is it because the hovercraft is powered up? Oh, you know what? Maybe that's what it is. There we go. Now, let's just mount that sucker up there. So I think it was probably just because the hovercraft was powered up. Alright, maybe we can just back this up here. Up. There we go. And then just straight down. We'll straighten her out. Get her right about in the center there. Okay, cool. Now, let's go back, get in the capital ship, and what we're going to do is we're going to fly up to the top of that and kind of get, you know, everything angled right, and see if we can make this work. Now I gotta get back up here again. We get right here, jump up, and then go in. Yeah, we got this. We got this. Okay, so what we want to do is just get at a good angle here. And then we can tilt up a little bit, not enough to where we're going to fall off of the ship if we're walking down there, but we might need to come down some too, maybe right to about here. And then let's back up just a little bit too. Yeah, maybe right there. Okay, let's try that and see if that works. Now, one thing that just occurred to me, though, is that if I go... Whoa, easy there, old guy. Get past that thruster really quick. If I jump down there, am I going to be able to get back up here? Probably. Well, I guess we're going to find out. So if we jump down here, can we get back up later? Oh yeah, we got this. We got this. Okay. We just got to make sure we can get around to the cockpit here without falling off this way. Easy, easy. There. Okay. So then, now we just go to here, and we hop in the multi-turret. All weapon systems are deactivated while ship is docked. Oh, gosh dang it. It isn't going to let me do it. Ah, crap. Well, that bites. All weapon systems are deactivated while the ship is docked. If we undock this thing and we slide off the end, we're in trouble. Because I don't know if I could use the control panel to bring the ship back down or not. Boy, I don't know. Let's hop out of here. I suppose if we really wanted to play this safe, we could... Well, no, that's not going to work either. I'm just trying to think how I would get back up here if that doesn't work. Because I have a feeling like the hovercraft, as soon as I undock it, because, you know, everything is not level, it's going to slide off. So one way that we fix that is that we make the capital ship level. And then we're just gonna have to go down lower. Ouch! I just walked over a thruster. Okay, so let's just level this out. So it's perfectly level. And then we're just gonna drop this down here so my turret can get to that stuff. Okay, so we are as level can be. Now let's try it. This is tricky here. There goes the timer. We'll scooch past that guy. Very carefully come around the corner here and get in the cockpit. Now let's undock this guy and pull him back. So he's still on the flat, though. Okay, we want to bring him just up enough to where he doesn't try and dock. Alright, now let's try it. Ha 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 ha! Suck it, Elion! Alright, the reason I said that, I love Empyrion, I love this game, and I like what they do with it. But the reason I said that is because, you know, they've disabled the use of capital vessel multi-turrets on planets, which makes perfect sense for PvP. It makes zero sense, really, in my opinion, for single player. Okay? Yeah, being able to use capital weapons on a planet for taking out POIs is a little OP. I don't have a problem with that, but they should let us use the multi-tool turret. But they don't. And so this is one way that you can sort of kind of have the same effect. Now we are losing some blocks here, but it, you know, whatever. I'm not too worried about losing a few blocks. But this is sort of kind of a way to get around it and still be able to use a multi-tool turret. And we are losing some blocks again, but, you know, we're going to get most of them and get around that. So I do know in older versions and older alphas, there was a way to actually enable, you know, capital. Actually, you could enable capital weapons and turrets on planets. I don't know if you can still do that in Alpha 10. I do have that question out to my Empyrion gurus in my Discord channel to see if it's still possible. You know, something you can change in like the YAML files. Part of why we're losing so many blocks is just kind of the way they built this thing anyway. It's a little bit wonky. But this actually works. I mean, for the most part. And once we get down into the main structure there, we'll have less block loss, but that's about as far down as we can go. So anyway, I'm going to finish taking this building apart. Using this method, we'll just keep adjusting, you know, the angle of the capital ship, and after that, we'll feed the stuff into the factory. Guys, I am back, and I was able to figure out, with help from one of the Empyrion community members in my Discord. His game name is Tatman, so a big shout out to Tatman for helping me with this. But I figured out how to make the multi-turret work on the capital ship on a planet. You basically just need to make an edit in the config file. And if you want the details of that, just send me a DM on the Discord, and or you know, you can ask me in the comments on YouTube too. But it'd be easier if you just get in the Discord, so that way I can just copy and paste or point you to that. But anyway, I can tell you how to do that if you're interested. That's the point I'm trying to make. So I have enabled the multi-turret, the capital ship multi-turrets to work on a planet, which is really cool. However, when I went to try and do that, we are now over, by the way, at the spaceport that I sacked a little while ago, because the listening center we have completely razed to the ground. I need a harvest box on the ship in order to get that to actually work. Okay, so we're going to make ourselves a capital ship harvest box, a wood in ore, or rather ore in wood container. Okay, so that was quick. And let's grab that sucker. And we're going to put it in place of this guy. This was my second loot container, cargo loot 2, which shouldn't have anything in it at the moment. Now, I think this controller here is just one size. So what we could actually do is keep this, but just make it the smaller size. So let's put the controller in here. And we might want to flip it upside down, or, well, hold on, no, not like that. There. We could put it in like that, so that that part is facing out. And then we can still put the other controller back in there. We're just going to have to keep it the, you know, the single block size, basically. So probably this one here is going to look the closest to the other ones, and we might want to flip it around. Well, no, let's just leave it that way. There, that works. Okay, so yeah, we can still use this. It's just, I don't think it's going to have as much. Okay, actually we got a group first, so let's do that. Okay, let's try this again. So open that one. So this will be cargo loot 2, just like it was before. And it's got a volume 8,000, whereas this one has a volume of 16,000. I don't know if that actually matters though when the weight and volume is not turned on. It looks like it's got the same amount of squares in it. One of these times I will actually try the weight and volume. I don't know, whenever I think about that, it just doesn't sound fun to me, but it might be. I don't know. I'll have to try it sometime. You know what else I'm noticing is that maybe we should go ahead and rotate these the other direction, just so they go in the same direction as that. So change and rotate there and there. Also, what does this look like? Oh, I kind of like that look better, actually, with the bars hanging down. Yeah, let's go with that, but we need to rotate it this way again, so it's the same direction as the rest of these. That looks good. Okay, I like that. Okay, so now we should be able to use our turret. So let's get the ship in position here. And we're just going to get right up over the spaceport. And because the turret's on the back here, and maybe we'll straighten it out this direction. And let's see, I want to move right about in the middle, and then let's pull forward maybe about there. Let's try it right there ish. Okay, we're looking for harvest, multi-turret retractable access. Okay, we got to turn this sucker around so it's pointing down. And let's try this. Ah, look at that. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, nice. So we have made the capital vessel multi-turret work on planets. I don't know. It seems like it might be just a tad bit faster than the hovercraft, or maybe it isn't. Maybe that's just my imagination. I don't know. But the important thing is now we can use it and we don't have to mess around with, creating a funky platform on the back of the, on the back of the cap ship, to get this to work. So this is cool. All right, guys. Well, anyway, it's time for us to end this episode. I might even gone over just a little bit. But what I'm going to do is we're going to take this thing apart, and then we will take all the materials that we have gotten so far. So I'll just kind of show you, we've got this stuff here, but I think let's actually look in the camo miner for a second. I must have already pulled everything out of there. Okay, so we did. So if we look in the chisel and we go to cargo loot, so basically this is all the material that I pulled off of the listening post. Pretty much everything you can see in here. So we're going to feed probably all of this into the factory, along with whatever we pull off of the spaceport here too. So I'll be doing that. I also have a couple of meteorites that have landed on the planet that I'm going to hit off planet. And then when we come back in the next episode, we will probably... let's see, what will we do? You know what I think we're going to probably do? I think we're going to probably start messing with the Xerax. So I think we're going to gear up to build a base on their land right next to their drone base. I mean, out of range of their turrets, but super close. And start messing with, more of their base attack mechanic, and, seeing if we can have some more fun with that, because they've only attacked me 3 times at our mountain base, and they haven't attacked since. And so I don't know if the game is buggy or if I've just not been pissing them off enough, or what the deal is with it. But we're going to have to figure that out and see if we can get that to work again. So I think that'll be the next thing on the agenda. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And we will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.